I'm pretty sure that you have some kind of life insurance or an integrated shield plan, because what are you doing if you don't have one? But who decides how that money is spent if something does happen to you and you can't speak or think for yourself? And if your cash flow doesn't quite match your care plan and these two things are unequal, would your family know what to do? I'm Andrea Heng. Welcome back to the Money Talks podcast. And today we are talking about advanced care planning, or ACP, because we really like our acronyms here in Singapore. So ACPs are a way of ensuring that your money goes where you want it to, and not just to hospital bills. Today, let's get some help in bridging the gap between your medical expenses and what your bank account has. Try and make that balance a little bit more harmonious. And to help me with that, today in Money Talks Hot Seat is Allen Lim, President of the Asia Estate Planning Association. Hi, Allen.
Hey, hi Andrea, how are you? Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you in this hot seat. It's a very important topic, especially
correct.
when so many of us are going to be seniors quite soon, right?
Yes.
Now, typically, Allen, in
yes.
your line of work,
Yes,
you
correct.
tend to talk about wealth,
Yes, correct.
legacy planning.
Correct.
But today you're here to talk about medical care plans.
Yes, correct.
What gives?
All right. Actually, medical care plan is part of the estate planning realm now. What we are talking about is mental incapacity planning.
Correct.
All right. So in Singapore's situation, it is good for everybody to get their lasting power of attorney done together with the advanced care plan, ACP. Actually, ACP is like a letter of wishes to allow your family members to know in advance what's your preferred healthcare preference, number one. And number two, what are some of the emotional things that you wanted to express if you lose your mental capacity. And that's very important.
Yes.
That's very important.
So is the ACP something that you would typically put a do not resuscitate order in there? Is that where
it depends.
that
Actually,
goes?
when you are doing the ACP today, actually, the government has done a very good job of having the ACP to be able for an individual to done online.
Okay.
So it takes about 10 minutes if you log on to it with your SIM pass.
That fast?
You go through, yes. And then the important part of ACP is the questions. It's a question that they're going to ask you, which is a very well thought through question. Actually, it's professionally done. No? It arises from the United States, the concept of ACP. So therefore, among the questions that they ask, actually, there is one question to ask you. Let's say, Andrea, you're the one doing the ACP. Say, Andrea, is there any procedure you want to avoid?
Okay, so I don't want to have some kind of surgery on a particular body part, something like that.
Correct.
Okay.
You can write it down. Why is that important? Because we must understand that the ACP will kick in. Take me as an example. When I lose my mental capacity, I want my wife to know what I want, and more importantly, what I do not want. Because in Singapore's situation, medical cost is very high. So sometimes family members have to make very difficult decisions.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Emotional, financial, and otherwise. And if without an ACP, you just have a lasting power of attorney done. Nobody exactly know what is best for Allen.
Okay.
Let's say I lose my mental capacity.
Sure.
All right?
Right.
So when a person let me backtrack a little bit. When the person do a lasting power of attorney, what he or she is doing, basically he's identifying one person to be the legal representative of himself, of myself.
Correct.
All right, there are two parts. One is for love and care. The other one is property and assets. All right. So it is just like that. It's love and care, property and assets. And there is no description or telling what exactly do I want, what exactly do I prefer, and most importantly, what exactly I do not want.
That's a very important thing, yeah.
So therefore, if without advanced care plan, the family members, in this case my wife, would not know how to handle me. In the context that if I lose my mental capacity, I think that happening in real life situation, there will be a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
All right. For example, I have my mother. My other mother is still around. She loves me a lot. I got my wife around. She loves me a lot as well. And sometimes family members will have their own individual opinion about what is best for Allen.
And there might be differing opinions.
Of course.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen many times. I've seen it many times in my client situation when that happens. And the sad part about not doing that is that you see family relationship get depleted or split away as a result of mental incapacity situation happen. Usually it happen not the first few months. No, first few months is okay. Usually it's when you go into the extended period.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. Therefore, if you have for the advanced care planning, all these instructions so-called or all these personal wish, this is what exactly Allen wants. And some of the wish can be not to do certain things, no.
Mm.
Stop certain treatment, no.
Yes.
It's a very difficult decision to make, no. All right?
Yeah.
And here we are, we need a person to make the decision on behalf of me.
But Alan, here's the thing, right? If
Mm.
we are trying, some of these decisions, as you said, they're quite
Yes.
difficult to make.
Yes, of course.
And sometimes they arise, the difficulty level of those decisions
Yes.
are dependent on the current conditions. So, for
Yeah.
example, let's
Yes,
take you as
correct.
an example, right?
Correct.
Since we're doing that now.
Correct.
If you say right now a particular treatment, you've already undergone particular treatment for your illness, and there's no telling whether you'll get better or you'll get worse.
Yes, correct.
How do you make that decision now when you're not sure whether you will deteriorate further without further? Because who knows that further
Correct.
treatment might actually keep you alive and you might suddenly go get well again, right?
Correct.
So how do we make that decision now?
Therefore, we come to the second part about what is the best practices when you want to do the ACP. Now, ACP and LPA shouldn't be a form-filling exercise, no.
Correct.
It shouldn't be a
exactly.
form-filling exercise. Meaning to say, as a form of planning, it is always good to do with an individual, a professional individual party who best is that the person is not related to you. It's an advisor. That's very important.
So someone who is completely
Yes,
objective.
Correct. Completely objective. And when we say planning, planning is not a one-off thing. For instance, I myself, I did my LPA, I did my ACP. All right. It will not be a one-off thing and that's it until I met with a mental incapacity situation.
You're constantly reviewing
Yes,
it?
correct. Correct. And constantly review, all right, this question about where do I put a stop to it?
Yes.
Do I extend? Do I? Actually, attitude changes, no?
Correct.
In my case, actually, my attitude changes.
Right.
In my younger days, I'm 57 this year. Backtrack 10 years ago, 47. My thought process in this kind of loss of mental capacity thinking,
Yes.
and today is quite different. No?
So how was it like when you were 47? What did you decide?
Actually, at 47 or in my early 40s, my decision tend to prolong.
Okay.
In the ACP term, it would mean that when certain treatment comes, you want it to be cause focus or comfort focus. They are two different, no?
Yes.
Alright?
Okay.
Alright? In my younger days, 45, 47, during those days, is comfort focus.
Okay. So prolong your life.
It's comfort focus.
Okay.
Comfort, which means the cost might go up.
Yes. Yes.
But right now, at my current age, this year, my attitude has shifted from comfort focus to cost focus.
Because you don't want to burden your family.
Yes. I do not want to burden my family. So to stop at certain part. So whatever residual wealth do I have, I want to give it to my wife. I wanted to give it to my mother.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I have to do this in Singapore situation. We have to be very mindful about the Singapore structure, family structure. Now, when my grandfather married my grandmother, they got 7 children.
Yeah.
All right. When my father married my mother, they got 3. I'm in the middle. I got 2. Guess how many children I have? I married my wife. That was about 25 years ago.
2?
Pardon? No,
2?
0.
Oh.
So therefore,
So everything goes to your
yes,
wife then?
Yes.
And any surviving relative?
So in my situation, when you say everything go to my wife, we got to see in the context of estate planning situation. By that time, my wife will be quite old.
Yes. She will need her own
Yes.
care.
Yes. In longevity planning, what we're talking about is the final mile, the final phase for the surviving spouse. No, They will come back to the situation that, well, how do I define love? When I say I love my wife, what does it mean?
Yeah.
In a tangible way. All right. One of the very important elements of love in the Singapore context means to say that if I were to go first, my wife must not suffer financially.
Well, in a way, Alan, you are choosing comfort, but just not for yourself. You're choosing comfort for your wife.
Yes. The attitude has changed.
So you talked earlier about how we should have an LPA and an ACP as part of your entire estate planning.
Yes.
You've clearly, told us the difference between the two. So is it necessary for us to have both? It makes you're making it sound like we must have both.
We must. We must is in the context of you love your loved ones. Because the lasting power of attorney is a legal document under the Office of Public Guardian that if you lose mental capacity, you give these legal rights to this person to be able to access to your assets.
Right. Very administrative role.
Yes. The other one is love and care. All right. Now, I'll give you an example. I have clients who lose mental capacity after doing the LPA. And then one had the LPA done, the other one did not.
Okay.
All right? So the one, he met an accident, he loses his mental capacity, and very quickly, his wife, who is the donor, is able to access to the bank as well as the insurance policy to process a claim.
Yes.
To process a claim. So that the assets flow from him all right, it is not so much of an issue.
Sure.
Not so much of an issue.
Sure.
And she roughly know what to do, all right, with the assistance of an advisor. Now, you take the other one. I got another friend of mine who didn't do his lasting power of attorney quick enough. He actually delayed it.
Okay.
We spoke about it, but he did not come to get to do it. And he lose his mental capacity or situation as a result of illnesses.
Okay.
And his family has to go to the court to apply for deputyships. Takes about 6 to 7 months. During the 6 to 7 months, what happened? Even his insurance policy get into some trouble because the entire assets were frozen. And then his general account stops. And then the insurance policy actually go into a lapse situation. So it's very important for the donor to know what to do for the family members.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Actually, personally, I am right now you can say an assisting donor or an advisor to one of my friends who is in quite a critical situation.
Okay.
I share with you one example. If without the ACP, I will have very difficult conversation with the family members because you are talking about some things that don't want to do. Don't do. Don't do. Of course, the family members are not so happy and pleased of what I'm going to suggest.
But the ACP is
Yes,
there.
I bring the ACP and say that, look, this is your son and this is your husband. What he wanted. You can see his signature is there. It facilitated the conversation much better. No? You see the point? So therefore, when we talk about estate planning, legacy planning, all this, what is our KPI? Our KPI is when the risk hits, the family relationship don't get depleted.
Here's the thing though, it's very interesting that you mentioned that, right? And you had to show this family, the wife and the mother, presumably, that this is what he signed. This is the ACP.
Yes.
That tells me that there was a gap in communication. He perhaps did this ACP but did not tell them. So, which brings me to my next question, right? I mean, how do we make sure that we communicate that we've had an ACP done so that this kind of awkward moment doesn't happen, right? For the donee, or in this case, the executor in a way, right?
Correct.
It's a very important conversation.
Yeah, correct. This conversation is not easily done. It's best done with a professional. Right? So what we do is that during a review meeting, what do? We will run through the scenario as though that the person has lost mental capacity or the person has passed away. We run through item by item. Is this really what you want? Quite a fair bit of conversation surrounding about money, which is very sensitive.
Sure.
It's very sensitive.
Always.
So therefore, a professional advisor is very able to work out, actually, based on your preferred choice, does your existing insurance policy, your assets are able to sustain?
Yeah.
And there's a very important conversation to be conducted, and it's very sensitive. All right? You really need a professional, not only a professional that's not related to you because there's no emotion on it. Because sometimes you need to see the hard facts.
Correct.
Now, back to just now that particular example of my clients, the hard decision was what? Why was a family member initially was not so pleased with me in that part here? Because we need to downgrade. We need to downgrade the medical treatment.
Okay.
Because of why? Because the finance is getting lesser and lesser.
And that was
lesser.
his ACP requirement. Once it starts bleeding too much money, downgrade the treatment. That was his wish.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct. Because he did mention cost focus.
So it's very explicit. And you can't deny that.
Yes, correct. So it makes the conversation easier in that situation. Otherwise, we will be subject to a lot of opinions. No?
Yeah. And I think also the conversation when you are doing the ACP is important as well,
Yes, of
right?
course.
Yeah, like I think family members need to understand, look, this is what I want because I have to be cost focused for your future because you're the one I'm leaving behind. I'm going.
Correct.
I'm not worried about me. And these are the messages that must be clear.
Correct. By default, a normal human reaction would be for your loved ones to prolong.
Of course,
That's
because
the default
you
thinking.
for selfish reasons, you want that person to still be
Yes.
around for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that might not be the case.
Yeah. You talked about finances earlier, right?
Yes.
And how it's the number one thing that comes
Most of the
at a
time.
disagreement
Most
in
of the
these
time.
ACP and in these
Correct.
conversations. Help us understand how an ACP protects my finances if I'm unable to speak for myself and decide on the care that I want. So you talked about how an ACP helps with cost focus versus care focus versus comfort focus, right?
Correct.
So in that cost focus aspect,
Uh-huh.
how does it protect my finances there?
So therefore, an ACP is a document to spell out your wish. It does not exactly protect. All right. So therefore, the protection part of it, before the person lose mental capacity, he has to consciously make a decision to plan it. It is also highly recommended that the person also do out his financial plans, his asset liability, potential source of funds, where it come from. All right. To be documented. Right now can be e-document on the apps or e-filing, that kind of situation somewhere. So that when things happen, the trusted person, the family members is able to open up the file to make conscious decision about what best to do.
Yeah, because
best to do?
essentially the ACP is a list of to-dos.
To-dos, yes.
All the family member needs to do is execute.
Yes, correct.
And that takes a whole lot of mental and emotional burden off that
Yes,
person's
yes.
shoulders, right?
Correct. Correct.
And it's good peace of
Absolutely.
mind as well.
Yes, correct.
So many, and I've seen this situation unfold in hospitals in my own family as well, right?
Oh, is that right?
When there are a lot of people assume that doctors know best. And for the most part, they do because they are the professionals, right? But if a patient's wishes are not made known, there's no ACP. Could the standard or recommended medical path end up becoming the most expensive one for the family?
It does, but to be fair to the medical professionals, they do have some form of medical counseling. That means to let the family members know if this course of action is to be proceed, what is the estimated cost. But it is best to be done in consultation also together with the estate planning advisors part, their
Okay.
portion card. Because they can talk about the finance, whether how long can it last, can it sustain that particular operation. Because our human mind is like this, Andrea. Our human mind cannot take into consideration of time, value, or money. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have got 1 million in the bank.
Yep.
1 million in the bank. Is it a lot of money? It all depends. If I say $1 million, you have 1 month to spend. Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, of course.
If I say $1 million in your bank account, you take 1 year to spend. Quite decent, very good. Actually, very good.
Yeah.
But if I say, Andrea, the 1 million is to last you for the next 30 years.
It's not going to be enough.
So
time value
time
of
value
that
of
money.
Time value, because you got to take into consideration of inflation and all those
Inflation, yep.
things. Those things has to be deliberately and professionally so-called calculated.
Yeah. And there are mathematical formulas to help you with
they
this
are,
as
right,
well.
right.
Yeah.
You got apps and then got certain part of it.
Yeah.
But our human mind consciously, we don't take that into consideration. We usually overestimate what we have.
Oh, I was thinking we severely underestimate.
Sometimes
And then
it's a two thing though.
Okay.
When times are good, we always thought that when times are bad, actually we might not be that poor. When
Sure.
times are good, actually we might not be that rich.
Yeah.
That kind of situation.
Yes.
That kind of situation.
I get what you mean,
Alright,
yeah.
that kind of part here. So therefore, that part of the time value of money is not the medical professional's domain.
Of course, yes.
So therefore, I have seen also family members who so-called like want to blame the medical profession. I say it is quite an unfair opinion because they are not trained in that. They
Yeah.
are trained in the medical.
That's fair.
All right. And then they wanted to be to give you the best, to give their patient the best. Right. They are discharging their medical duty as a doctor.
Correct.
So therefore,
They're not accountants.
the estate planning advisor and the financial advisor, they are discharging the duty for the benefit of the person in another way. So that's the part, So both things must work hand in hand together.
Understood. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up. Now I'm just curious. Let's take a break from a bit of the seriousness. And I'm wondering, right, if there has ever been a time you've encountered a client or a client that has become a patient that had a very unique wish in their ACP. Can you think of that? Can you think of a unique story that you can tell us?
You see, oh yes, there are so many.
Come, let's hear it. I would love to hear some of these unique wishes because you never know what people are thinking at the back of their minds, right?
Okay, I wish some part of it. Take care of my pets. There's a lot.
Oh, right.
That's
of
a lot.
course,
That
yes.
one is a lot. That one a lot.
Yeah.
I also got one is he specified the specific brand of whiskey that he wanted to enjoy, and that whiskey is not cheap.
Wow.
Got like that.
Right.
Because the SCP actually can write. I won't say whatever you want. You
Yeah,
can write,
yeah.
write
But
the
it's
things,
your wish.
It's your
lah.
wish. That is
Yeah.
a wish. That's a
Okay.
wish. But he has provide the funding for it.
Oh,
He has
wow.
provide the funding for it. Say
Okay.
that, okay, I got this amount of money from this particular insurance policy, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dear whoever, use this money for this.
Right.
For this.
Wow.
I also seen people who are for this particular wine at this particular vintage, let me have it. And that particular bottle of wine can cost $5,000.
Wow. So it's really that
it's
last wish.
Yes, it's a bucket list.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bucket list. Wow. Anything to do with travel?
Yes, I also have got, but usually they can't travel.
Yeah.
They say he can't travel. I also have got some part very emotional, which is very good, to express their love. They use the ACP to express their love. All right. Use this, stop this part here, provide money, let whoever is a wife, all right, to travel to this particular place. And then sometimes they leave behind a note. note to say that, dear wife, by the time you read this, I'm no longer around. This part here, this money is for you. Like when I was alive, I promised you I wanted to bring you to this place, but I did not manage to fulfill the promise. Right now, please take this money and fulfill that wish that we wanted to have.
Wow.
Wow, that is wonderful.
That's very
you know.
powerful. Yeah.
That's what I mean by as a result of certain risks happen, that the family become closer together.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If without the ACP, the wife wouldn't want to spend the money.
Correct.
In that situation, the wife said
Precisely,
that, hey, Allen, you're
because
telling me
you
to
have
spend
this financial
Yes.
guilt, right? And then you
Yes.
feel like,
Correct.
oh, this money is very precious and I feel guilty spending it just because he or she left it to me.
Correct.
So the ACP actually
Yes.
helps clear that up.
Yes, correct. ACP, as well as sometimes we talk about will and all this, it's a last chance that we can express our love, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't leave it as a form-filling exercise.
Yeah.
Then that's very important. I also have got information in the ACP account note, that kind of situation here. Redeem our jewelry. You know what happened? Somehow he knows the wife has pawned her jewelry for him.
Wow. He just,
said,
it seems
"Redeem
like the
back.
common denominator
Redeem
here
back.
is that they just want their
Redeem
living relatives and family members and loved ones to continue living.
Yes, redeem back.
Yeah.
You see what?
Yeah.
I remember the case very vividly because I could take some of his assets, this situation with the pawn shop. I go to the pawn shop. I talk to the pawn shop, the owner.
Yeah.
I just got to tell him that, hey, I'm in the process of getting the insurance payout to settle this one. Can you don't sell it? Because no point to put it there.
So you had to act really quickly in that situation.
In a way, yes, but this comes on negotiation.
Okay.
So this part here to negotiate because it means something for that lady. It means something for the man. All right. This is a part here. This is a situation. You can say it's bittersweet. He get into that kind of situation, but through that particular letter, he expresses his love.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me. Now I have to have a conversation with my husband. Okay, back to a bit more serious business, Allen. Can an ACP become a legal burden in any way?
Not exactly. ACP is not legally binding, but that does not mean it doesn't work. No.
Yeah. Is there flexibility in how it can be executed?
Yes.
Yeah?
It has got flexibility. I give you an example. Why ACP cannot be or not encourageable to be legally binding.
Sure.
You usually come around money. Let's say the finances you left behind say 100,000 for this or 200,000 for this, and it's string left to let's say 10,000 or $5,000. If you make it legally binding, meaning to say the person who execute the document for the person lying in the hospital bed, if you can't downgrade him to a lesser ward, you're a breach of contract.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
But you need ACP, and you must have a little bit of good faith that you need to downgrade. It's no choice situation. It's for the benefit of the person.
Please proceed. Okay.
You see the point?
Yeah. Now, back to what you mentioned earlier, how the government has made it easy for us to do this ACP. We should not treat it as a checklist, and I completely agree because these are very serious matters, right?
Yes, correct.
So walk us through the process. Since I'm going to go talk to my husband after this, what do I need to be prepared for? What documents do I need to prepare? What do I need to ask myself as I'm preparing to fill up this form, this ACP?
Okay, you log on to the governmental website. This is under My Legacy. Log in with a SingPass, and then they will walk you through a series of questions.
Okay.
All right. And actually, there's no document you need to prepare. No
it's
document.
just you
you are
and your
asking.
laptop.
You are asking. Yeah. You will just answer the question.
Okay.
It takes about close to 15 minutes. Some question of it. And then it will also ask you who is the person you want it to be the so-called the spokesperson. They call it nominated healthcare spokesperson, that part of it. And he or she will receive a message for him to agree.
Okay.
Electronically. Then after that, the entire ACP will be uploaded into a national electronic registry.
Yes.
Register.
Okay.
That's a part.
And you can
That's
change
the
this
process.
at any time that you want.
You can change.
Okay.
You can change.
Would you advise engaging a lawyer of any sort when you're doing the ACP?
ACP, you do not need a lawyer, but it is good that you have somebody that you trust to talk about this. All right. But the lasting power of attorney, maybe I touch on a little bit on the LPA.
Yeah.
The lasting power of attorney, what is free of charge, as what been said in the parliament. is about the filing fee.
Correct.
The filing fee. But however, you do need to approach what we call a certificate issuer, called the CI.
Yes, which
who
is
a
your lawyer,
professional,
the
a
GPs.
lawyer
The
or
GP
or
clinics
the
have this
doctor.
too,
Yes,
right?
Yes, correct. This part here.
Okay.
All right. For them to walk you through that. And which is actually a very important process.
Yeah, that's
all
the
right?
step that I've not done yet.
Ah,
Oops.
true.
Yeah.
All right. So you do need to incur a little bit of amount of fee to that
Okay.
CI,
Yeah.
to that certificate issuer. So the filing fee is free of charge
Okay.
for Singapore citizen.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
For Singapore citizen.
That's right.
That's a part here.
Mm.
So there's a situation. All right. So ACP, there is no cost involved.
Okay.
No
Okay.
cost involved.
That's good. That's good. Then you just really need to think about that fee to get it certified.
Yes, correct.
The
Certified and
LPA to
issue.
be certified. And it's a small price to pay.
Small price to pay.
honestly.
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
for peace of mind.
Correct.
Okay, just a final word of advice from you, Alan.
Yes.
You talked about how you did your first ACP when you were 47.
Yes, around there.
Early 40s, you started thinking about it already.
Yes, correct.
Let's go even younger. What would you say to a 30-year-old today about, the importance of an ACP? Because, people in their 20s and 30s are thinking, I'm still healthy, I'm working, I don't have time, I'm still healthy, I think I don't need to think about this ACP thing yet. What would you say to them?
I think risk can happen anytime. I think the best thing is lead by example. What I do is I always show the first page of my ACP. First page.
You should have brought it here today.
No, the view behind the information a bit sensitive. So
Yeah.
first page.
Oh, that's true.
I think it's lead by example is very important to highlight to them in a very non-threatening way. Why certain things important. I think we have to highlight the situation is that what we mean by having a family. Let's say you're not married, this is your father, your mother.
Yeah.
What you mean by expressing your love to them? Don't be a burden. Because if you don't do it, when this happens, it become a burden. It becomes a burden. I have seen parents who do all out for the children. No, I have seen all out for the children. No, so therefore you as part of love, meaning to say that when this happen, at least there's certain things can be executed in an orderly manner, because you love your parents.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true. It can happen either direction.
Yes, correct,
really.
correct.
Yeah.
So start doing it. I know if you leave to the individual sometimes because procrastination. All right. So it's good that sometimes you have external people to prompt it, to give the process discipline.
And hopefully this
to
podcast is one of those ways that encourages people to do it.
I encourage them. All right. Because the world has changed and it become much more uncertain. Going forward to the next 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to have more uncertainty. Let's do it. All right, and that's very positive about this. All right, there's nothing negative about this. Positive because why we do this because we love our family.
Yeah.
And then what it means is that I love my wife. That's what it means. I love my mother. My father had passed away. I miss him a lot. And that's what I mean by I love my nephew and niece, my brothers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's time to schedule that conversation. And here's the thing, it's free. And it's a checklist that's already made available for you to do. So it's super easy to do.
Correct.
Just get it done. Set a date. Set a date on your calendar to do it soon so that you don't miss out the opportunity. Because, it's very easy for busy Singaporeans to procrastinate. But I think, like you said, risk can happen anytime.
Yes.
Alan, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
For sharing your experience with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you, our Money Talks community. You just saw me shed a tear this episode. That's the first on the Money Talks podcast. I really want to thank you for tuning in. Now, I have a question for you. I'm wondering if you've ever tried talking to your family or any of your loved ones about their future care, but found it awkward to have that conversation. We know that it is a very awkward conversation to have. I've experienced it too. But it is a necessary conversation. Think about it this way. Short-term pain, long-term gain. My favorite saying on the Money Talks podcast. How did you break the ice if you managed to have that conversation? How did you break the ice? I want to know. You can let us know by commenting wherever you are listening to us from. Or you can also write to us directly at cnapodcasts@mediacorp.com.sg. This has been the Money Talks podcast. I'm Andrea Heng.